I've been able to lose nearly 50 pounds, get toned, achieve my dream body, and even step foot on a bodybuilding stage last year and won third place. But 8 years ago, I was the exact opposite. I was overweight, lazy, had horrible habits, and I hated the gym. So in this video, I'm gonna be giving you the exact steps, the exact things you need to become so consistent it feels illegal. This is episode 9 of my Lean and Strong series, where I'm gonna be dropping all the secrets, everything you need to know to become lean, strong, and toned without extremes. So make sure you subscribe just so you don't miss out on the next episodes, and episodes 1 through 8 are in the playlist on my channel. So without further ado, let's jump right into it. First, we need to define what consistency actually means. When I first started my fitness journey, I thought that being consistent meant that you never miss a day, you never mess up, you're perfect 365 days a year, you're so disciplined and have so much willpower, when that is so far from the truth. Consistency does not mean perfection, it means that you simply never give up. You just keep showing up every day in any way that you can. You show up on hard days and you show up when it's not convenient for you. You're not perfect, and when you have a bad day, when you make a mistake, you get up faster from it. You learn from it, you dust yourself off, you get back up, and you keep going. You don't let a bad day derail you and make you completely quit and give up on yourself. Now, here's the hard truth. You're actually already consistent. It's just with the wrong things. So many women like to say things like, I'm just not consistent. Actually, hun, you are. You're consistently eating out. You're consistently staying up late and sleeping in. You're consistently skipping meals. You're consistently not tracking your macros. You're consistently scrolling on your phone. You are consistent, just with the wrong things. So we just need to simply switch your bad habits for the right ones and focus on one thing at a time. Make it a sustainable lifestyle change instead of something extreme. So hack number 1 to master consistency is to do something sustainable. Oftentimes, you're not the one who's broken, your strategy is. Which is why I don't believe in diets. I don't believe in extremes. And I don't believe in things like 75 hard to get started on your fitness journey. Now, if you're a few years in, you've already made this your lifestyle, you've made great progress, and you want to challenge yourself and get to a next level, then sure, do something like 75 hard. I did a bodybuilding show last year, so I know it can be exciting and fun to challenge yourself. I'm talking about if you are just getting started and you're like, I'm doing 75 hard purely to lose weight, when you don't even have a good lifestyle or good habits right now. Because what's the point of doing something if you can't maintain it year round? I see so many women do restrictive things like 1,200 calories, low carb, keto, fasting, 6-7 workouts per week, only to be super strict and perfect for 2 weeks straight and then completely give up and fall off the wagon. But here's the truth. Most people wouldn't be able to stay consistent with that, including myself. When you're doing something extreme, you can't be consistent because it's not sustainable. So your mission is to find something sustainable and make it a lifestyle change year round. You can still eat carbs and all the foods you love. Even traveling, celebrating birthdays, anniversaries, that's a part of life. It's not about cutting these things out of your life. It's about learning how to navigate them differently with new habits and a new mindset. Which brings me to hack number 2 is to implement systems. You're not lacking motivation. You're lacking systems. I was having a conversation the other day with a woman who was feeling very overwhelmed with her life, working full time, trying to balance her weight loss journey, and she said that she can barely come up for air right now. And so I asked her, okay, well, what systems are you implementing in your life right now to manage your stress, your time? What are you using to time block your schedule? What does your meal prepping system look like? You want to know her answer? She wasn't implementing any systems. Without structure is chaos. Systems are what keep you grounded and actually set you free. Systems are what keep you on track when life gets busy and crazy. Because here's the truth. Life is going to be crazy and busy no matter who you are. So your job isn't to wait until things slow down to focus on your health. Your job is to start implementing systems in your life so you can stay consistent year round. And you can stay consistent no matter what. One example of a system is meal prepping. There are so many different ways to meal prep. You can meal prep all of your lunches for the week. You can meal prep just proteins for the week. You can even do what I do. I don't even have to cook at all. I order cooked chicken, cooked beef, and cooked steak by the pound through a local meal prep company. I get microwave rice, I get frozen mixed veggies, and I get a pre-made sauce from the grocery stores. My breakfast is just a bagel, and then I buy pre-boiled eggs. I don't need to cook because I have a system that I implement every week that makes it so easy for me to stay consistent when I am busy. Another system that I implement every week is planning out my schedule. Every Sunday, I take about 15 minutes. Instead of scrolling on your phone, swap a scrolling session for a time blocking session and write out every task you need to do for the entire week. I start with Monday and I go in order. The time I wake up, I put in my workout, I put in the meetings I have, I put in the tasks I need to do, and I move on to Tuesday. And I do the same exact thing the entire week. So when I walk into Monday morning, because I have a system, because I have structure, I feel in control. I do not feel chaotic and overwhelmed and stressed out. I mean, sometimes I do, let's be honest, but having systems and structure is what helps you feel less overwhelmed because you're going into your week with a plan. And all I need to do is I go down my to-do list and I check off the tasks one by one. And I don't even need to track my macros at all during the busy week because I implement a system. On Sunday as well, I take about 10 to 15 minutes again to plug in all of my food for the week. I plan out my meals ahead of time so it's not a guessing game. And then you don't have anything planned, you don't have anything prepped, and then last minute you're like, whatever, let's just get DoorDash. Let's just go through the drive-thru because you don't have a plan. Meals are already prepped and ready. I don't have to cook. I don't have to track during the busy week because I plan ahead and I do it all for myself in advance. This will save you so much time. Systems is what gets you to be successful and consistent, not motivation or willpower. And the cool part about these systems is it does not take much time at all. Especially if you do what I do, you really only need like 15 to 20, maybe 30 minutes max on a Sunday or just any day that works best for you to just simply plan ahead for the week. Plan out your meals, plan out your schedule. We all scroll on our phone. I'm sure if you look at your screen time, you have hours and hours of just mindlessly scrolling. Just swap 30 of those minutes into planning ahead instead. We all watch Netflix instead of watching a show for 1 to 2 hours, just laying in bed or wasting time sitting at a restaurant for 1 to 2 hours. Swap that time you're spending to doing something productive that sets you up for success and implement a system into your life. And also plugging in your workout times. What days and times are you going to go to the gym? I plug in my workouts as if they are an appointment, as if they are a meeting, because it's a meeting with yourself. You are keeping a promise you made to yourself and prioritizing it. You've got to make the time for your goals, not find the time. But I'm sure you'll find it looking at your screen time. If you want to be successful, you got to become a master at time management and swapping your bad habits for better ones, because the better ones are going to move you closer to your goals. So if you feel like you fall off track year after year, I can never stay consistent, instead of thinking something's wrong with you or you're just not meant to reach your goal or you could never be disciplined, start asking yourself, what systems am I not implementing that make success the only option? But you'll still struggle to stay consistent if you don't implement hack number 3, which is designing your environment for success. If you want to lose fat, get toned, become stronger, then you need to eliminate all distractions from your life. You just need to focus on things that matter. For example, it's really hard to practice willpower every day if you just have a thing of cupcakes or cookies sitting on your counter and you walk past it every single morning. How much easier would it be to avoid those things if you just simply never bought them? If you just threw them in the trash? If you go into my pantry right now, you're not going to see cookies, brownies, cupcakes. That's because I know myself and I know I won't be able to stay away from them, especially if it's some chocolate chip cookies. So instead of making it harder for me and I'm practicing willpower every day and try not to look at the cookies, just don't buy them. I just remove those things from my house. Because let's be honest, no one is grabbing the cookies and shoving them in your grocery cart. I stay consistent with my nutrition most of the time. I'm not perfect, but I stay consistent because I make it the only option. Another example of changing your environment. If you're someone who works from home and you're sedentary, you're sitting down all the time, you feel like you can never stay active, you really struggle to hit your step count goal, invest in a standing desk and a walking pad. This way you can walk while you work. This is an example of changing your environment to make success easier. I keep my walking pad right next to my standing desk, and it's an investment in your health, okay? You're already spending that money on pointless things. Going out to eat, drive-through, shopping, makeup, Amazon. Go look at your bank transactions the last 30 days, and I'm sure you will find hundreds of dollars on dumb stuff that you don't need. So instead, take that money that you're spending that's keeping you away from your goals and invest it into your health, something that's actually going to help you become a better version of yourself. Now, the last part about changing your environment is the hardest, but you got to make sure that the people you surround yourself with, especially the people you live with, are supporting your goals too. They don't need to do this with you, but they do need to support you. I've seen it so many times, and what that looks like is simply just having a heart-to-heart conversation with these people. Why you're deciding to do this, why you want to make lifestyle changes, why you want to implement these new habits, even opening up and being honest about how you feel, the struggles that you have. If these people truly love you, then they are going to support you. And here's the best part. When you take action, you lead from the front, you change your lifestyle first, the other people around you will start to want to follow you. I've seen it so many times where the woman, the wifey, lady signs up for our program first, and then a few weeks or a few months later, their husband sees the amazing results that she's getting, and guess what? He actually signs up with my husband a few months later, and then they do this journey together. And a great example of that is my client Cassie and her husband Patrick. They have lost about 70 pounds combined, and they have 4 kids. They also both work full-time too. But he's in my husband's program, she's in our program, and they are crushing it together. And Cassie is the one who took action first. But if you really want to take this all to the next level, you're gonna need hack number 4, which is habit stacking. In the book Atomic Habits, it talks about how to make your habits automatic. This way, you pretty much reach your goals on autopilot. Now, what I hear from a lot of women is, oh, well, I just forgot to track. I forgot my meal at home. I can't remember to take my supplement. Your problem isn't that you need incredible memory where you never forget anything. Your problem is you're not habit stacking. The truth is, you probably have so many habits right now that you do every single day without even thinking about it. Most of them, you're doing it without even realizing it. Checking your phone, brushing your teeth, making your coffee in the morning, pressing snooze when your alarm goes off. Those are all examples of automatic habits that you do without thinking. So all you need to do, if you want to start implementing a new habit, you just need to stack it with one you're already doing. For example, I wanted to start taking creatine, and a few months ago, I kept forgetting to take it. But one thing I never forget is to make my latte in the morning. I love having my iced coffee in the morning, and I always open the coffee cupboard every single day without fail. It's not something I need to remind myself to do. So what I did is I put my creatine in the coffee cupboard. So when I opened it every morning, I would see my creatine right there and I would remember to take it. Another example is when I was reading Atomic Habits, I wanted to develop a habit to read every night. So when I made my bed in the morning, something that I already do, I put the book on my pillow when I was finished with making my bed. So that way, when the night came and it was time for bed, when I walked up to my bed, the book was right there, and then I remembered to read. Another example is putting a new supplement you want to take next to your toothbrush, or maybe putting a sticky note on your fridge or on your coffee creamer, something that you grab every single day. This will make the habit automatic, so there's no trying to remember. You're simply just stacking it with something that you do every day until you make this new action a habit. The good news is God designed our brains to operate in patterns and repetition. So if you just keep practicing and repeating the same things over and over again, it's going to become a new habit. You can use this to your advantage to make discipline automatic, something you don't even need to think about. But none of this will apply if you do not implement hack number 5, which is getting crystal clear on your vision. Most women are not lacking motivation. They are lacking clarity. They don't know what they're building, what goals they want to reach, what type of woman they want to become. This is a question I ask every single client who comes into our program is, what is your vision? Not just for your body, but for your life. What do you want your health, career, finances, and relationships to look like? What kind of mother or leader or wife do you want to be? This is actually the first homework assignment we have all of our clients do, is write a vision letter to themselves. It also says in the Bible that without vision, the people will perish. A vision is like a destination on Apple Maps. When you put the car in drive, you can't move forward unless you know where you're going. The destination should be the first thing you set. Then you get help to get the directions and the guidance to get there. A lot of you watching this right now are stuck because you don't have a vision. Sure, maybe you want to lose fat or you want to lose weight, but why? Why do you want to lose fat? Why do you want to get toned? Why do you want to be confident? Why do you want to be healthier? Why do you want to be stronger? Why do you want to fit into your clothes better? This is an exercise you can do 7 times in a row. Just keep asking yourself why after every question you answer. Then you'll finally get your deep, true motive for wanting to change. And that is what's going to get you through the hard days. This was episode 9 of my Lean and Strong series. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out on future episodes. And like I mentioned, episodes 1 through 8 are in my Lean and Strong playlist on my channel. But in episode 10, I'll be sharing how to make so much progress it feels like cheating. And only 3% of women know this hack. But if you want to learn the real reason why your body isn't changing, then click on this video here.